Hi, ladies, and welcome to today's session. Thank you so much all for being here. We're really excited because we are just kicking off goal setting month within the Women in Business community. And today is a live session with myself, Raimonda, and my co host, Katie. Hi, Katie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. I'm really good, thank you. Excited to get stuck into our goal setting this evening.
We seem to be matching today.
I know. All the red for Christmas.
And didn't plan.
We didn't plan, no, promise.
So, ladies, welcome to today's session. If you're joining us live, welcome, welcome. And of course, use the chat box feature to introduce yourselves because we want to get to know you a little bit in this session. We want to be talking about goals, what are your plans for the following year, and also celebrate your wins because it's really important to reflect back on the previous year in order to move forward and set some new goals. So, I hope all of you downloaded the workbook. And also for those ladies who are watching this perhaps on a replay, make sure you grab yourself a workbook for the session and follow along with today's session. Hopefully we'll try and cover everything. And let's try and keep it interactive and fun because that's what it's all about. And today's session is actually 1 out of 3. So if you are as a member of the Women in Business community, you'll find another 2 sessions coming up this month with 3 other experts actually. So Katie, I'd love for you to just give us a little introduction about yourself, and I'll do the same after you.
Excellent. So hi, ladies. Thanks for joining. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Katie Kallela. I'm a business mentor, sales funnel and Facebook ad strategist. And I work with women in business, helping them get from where they are to where they want to be, filling in all those techie gaps and a few mindset gaps along the way. So I kind of put my hands in lots and lots of different things, and I'm part of the Women in Business team, as I'm sure many of you have seen me around. And I occasionally help co-host these workshops with Ray. So yeah, looking forward to getting stuck in this evening. Like Ray said, make sure you get stuck in because I think there's a saying, something along the lines of 10 times more likely to stick to a goal or achieve a goal if you say it out loud or share it out loud with other people. So really important to get stuck in and engage as much as possible.
Amazing. Of course, I have been working with you, Katie, for quite a while now, and we've known each other for a while, and it has been a pleasure, and it's so exciting to be able to have a business buddy, someone who we can bounce ideas with and, set goals together and try and achieve them, and of course, celebrate them when we have them. So I want to give a little introduction about myself. So my name is Raimonda. I'm the founder of the Women in Business community. I have been in business for around probably 10 years now. I am a business strategist, a speaker, and a mentor for female entrepreneurs. I had a number of businesses, both online and offline. But now I am most passionate about helping other women build their businesses and find a strategy and clarity in, how to get more visible, how to package your services, and generally how to crush in business. And that's what I do. So, ladies, this is your turn to let us know about what it is you do and who you serve so we can support you on this journey. And as I said, download yourself a workbook and hopefully let's get started. So, Katie, where do we actually begin today?
We're looking to start off with celebrating. Like you said, it's so important to actually celebrate our wins and look at what we have done well, and to look back and reflect at what has worked, what hasn't worked as well. But first of all, we always like to start off with a positive. So to start with, it's looking at the wins and what we've done right in 2019. What's made us proud? What's made us happy? What have we accomplished? If we had to round it up into our most successful achievements, what would they be from 2019? Because it is important to celebrate wins, even if there's small wins. Any growth is growth, no matter how fast or sometimes how slow it may seem. All growth is growth. So it's really important to look at what we have, what we're most proud about from our 2019 year in business.
And we have a quote in a workbook which says, we do not learn from experience. We actually learn from reflecting on experience. And I think that's such a good saying that, you've got to reflect. And sometimes We don't spend enough time reflecting unless we writing it down. So I would highly encourage you ladies to use this workbook and reflect on all your wins and all your experiences of 2019. What has been your biggest achievements? And, like Kate said, what do you feel most proud of?
And it's so important, I think, to remember as well, because it's so easy to forget what we've achieved. If we've had a down week or a busy week, or we've got a lot on our plate and we're juggling a lot of things, it's a busy month in December, and it's sometimes easy to think, oh, I haven't moved forward and I haven't done this and I haven't done that. But actually, when you take time to actually sit and reflect, and you will start to think of things that you have achieved, even if they're small things, it doesn't matter. You have achieved them, and you have moved forward. Celebrate them all. It's really, really important. And I think it's important to take the time to do this, rather than going, yeah, I did this and I did that and that's fine, and just shooting forward. And it's great to do it interactive like this, like we said, and saying them out loud and writing them out and sharing them with other women in business, but also to take that time, to take this workbook after today's session and take the time for yourself, with a cup of tea, glass of wine, whatever it is, some candles, and take that time where you're not going to be disturbed by your partners, by children, or whatever it is, and just take that time for yourself to actually look at what has gone right. I've had loads of different businesses over the years since I was 18 off and on, and it was something I never ever used to do years ago until the last kind of few years, and the difference it's made is phenomenal, because I never give myself time to look back and look at what I had achieved. I was always just racing forward to the next goal without actually looking at what I had, where I had come from. And I think sometimes we can get to a place, and if we'd had said a year ago that we were in this place, we would have felt super proud. But we've reached that place without giving ourselves that kudos and without giving ourselves time to celebrate and to reflect. And then you just whiz forward to the next. And that's why it's so important, because we have to look back and reflect and take that time to congratulate ourselves.
So, ladies, I want to celebrate your wins this year. We want to celebrate your wins this year. Using the chat box right now, let us know what has been your biggest achievement so far for 2019. And let's celebrate it together, because when you actually write it down and you are being celebrated together with the supportive community around you, that means you feel encouraged and uplifted, and it just gives you that feel-good factor. So share it right now in the chat box of your biggest achievements of 2019. Katie, I want to ask you and this is sort of partly moving on to the second question.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think you could never achieve this year that actually happened for you?
I think it would probably have to be hosting the retreat with you. It was one of those big dreams that I'd had for ages and that I thought was probably unachievable, especially starting off and just doing it abroad. It wasn't starting small, it was doing it exactly how I wanted and we wanted to do it. So that was probably the biggest thing for me, just saying, we're enough to do something like that. Why not? Why not us? Other people can host retreats, and between us we have got enough knowledge, experience, for people to come and want to spend time with us and other amazing like-minded women in business and host a retreat. So for me, that was huge.
It was amazing, spending a few days in Ibiza and doing some mastermind sessions, doing some pampering. It was magical. It was really magical. And I know we're doing it again in 2020.
Definitely.
We have 12 ladies joining us on the next retreat. And I know it's going to be so special. So for me, that was a big highlight of the year as well. Like you say, it has been on my vision board for a while.
Yeah.
And it happened. I didn't plan for it, but it so happened that we spoke about it and we made it happen.
Made it happen, definitely.
So Ellie says, about to launch my new blog. Very excited but terrified. I bet you are, Ellie. So let us know. I know you're in marketing, Ellie. So is that about marketing? And what are the top topics that you're covering in it? That's really, really exciting.
Congratulations.
So,
we've got a few more popping in.
Oh, amazing.
Okay, what have we got? Rachel, receiving several personal recommendations from new clients to existing ones have made me really happy. Amazing. Testimonials and recommendations, the best feeling ever, to know that you're appreciated. And when you're being recommended, best form of marketing, best form of advertising is word of mouth. So absolutely, and make a brag file of those. Make sure you keep those somewhere. So, I always say to clients, if you're having a bit of a down day, and we always tend to focus on the negative comment, or if we have any negative feedback, or if we're just feeling a little bit quiet. So you've got those to go and perk yourself up and lift you when you're feeling maybe not 100%. So congratulations, Rachel. Amazing.
That's very exciting. Priscilla, hi Priscilla, good to have you here. Founder of Healthcare First Choice Limited, a care company. We help elderly people and vulnerable adults live independently by providing them with support they need. My wins for 2019 are becoming one of the leading company providing good quality care in the UK. And we're almost hitting our 7 figures. Oh my goodness, amazing. Well done.
Congrats. Fantastic.
That is big. And I have interviewed Priscilla. She's obviously our member, and I've interviewed Priscilla last week, and we were talking about the huge transformations that had to happen in her business and her mindset as well, which, it's really exciting that with doing that internal work and also understanding that you have to outsource to a team because you can't do it all by yourself. So Priscilla has, I think, 60 team members, and
amazing.
It's incredible. But again, it's that 50. It's that mindset shift that needs to happen in order for you to move to that direction, right? So
most definitely.
Yeah.
Stay with us, Priscilla, because you'll be you can help us when we get to all the transformational questions in a bit.
Yes. So Ellie says, focusing on marketing for small businesses and entrepreneurs, all good advice to get themselves noticed. Amazing.
Excellent. And so needed.
Definitely.
So helpful.
Yeah. There's a lot of myths on marketing, and, there's never too much information when it comes to marketing.
Definitely. Huge congrats, ladies. Great wins.
So moving on to this workshop, do make sure you answer question 2 as well. What did you think you could never achieve this year and it happened for you? So Priscilla just answered that, getting into those 7 figures and celebrated that. So it's a huge achievement. And also looking at what did you do differently to achieve that worked for you. So did you make some shifts? Did you maybe start to outsource to a team? Did you hire a business coach? Or, what have you done differently? You need to identify where was the tipping point that made all the difference. If you can recognize what you've done differently and that shifted the needle for you and your business, then you can start doing more of that, or replicate the same success in the new year as well. So it's really important to try and identify that aspect of, what really worked for you this year. Question 4, what are the things that didn't work for you this year? There might have been things that didn't work for you, and that's okay. Business isn't all just linear, and not everything will succeed and not everything will work out. There might have been some investments that you made that didn't work out. Maybe you hired people that didn't work out. Maybe you just made a wrong decision. So again, reflecting back on the lessons that you can take away from those perhaps poor decisions or just things that happened and you weren't ready for it, right? Sometimes things happen that we're just not ready for.
Yep.
And if you can identify all those things or roadblocks that happened to you this year, you can actually eliminate it next year. And, you can deal with it better or completely eliminate it by making different choices.
Definitely. Like you said, sometimes it's not an incorrect, we have to just learn from it. It's just a case of it not sticking. And sometimes, it is a case of trying different things and seeing what works and what doesn't. And the people that are successful are the people that just keep on trying different things and getting it when something doesn't stick or when something doesn't work, even though it can be difficult. And then, like Ray said, looking at that and realizing what didn't work or why it didn't work for you, so we can learn from the experience.
Yeah. I made some mistakes this year, or I hired people that didn't work out. It doesn't mean they were bad people, but
no.
it didn't work out, for one reason or another. And if you can identify these decisions and things that happened that just didn't work out, then you'll make different decisions next year. You might still make mistakes, who knows, but it's okay as long as you are learning, as long as you're taking something out of it.
Yes, definitely.
So question 5, what do you wish you had done more of? So if there are things that you wish you had done more, this is a place to list them. Maybe you wish you showed up on live videos or ran a webinar.
That's fine.
Which one is yours, Katie?
I'm not very good at going live on my own business page. So that's probably mine. Wish that I'd shown up live more.
Yeah, we all have those regrets, but we can't beat ourselves up. We're only doing our best, right? We're only ever doing our best that we can.
And I think we all only do our best, and we must all remember we are all human as well, and that's all we're ever going to be doing is our best. So don't beat yourself up over things you haven't done. Yeah. I'm in good company. I haven't gone live yet, and you'll do it. Well, honestly, once you do it, it will get easier. We've gone live together numerous times. I've been live on Ray's Instagram with well over 100,000 followers. I've got a personal block on my own kind of pages more than others. You'll do it, and do it. If you need to do it with somebody else to start with, or in a group on your own where you practice. But honestly, done is better than perfect, and it doesn't actually have to be perfect ever. None of ours are ever perfect, Ray. We've had tech issues, or we've forgotten what we're talking about. Well, it doesn't matter. People actually relate to people, and they actually fall in love with people that are more human and more kind of real and raw rather than pristine and perfect. So just go for it.
I had an epic fail today on my live.
Oh, did you? I missed it.
And I have to share it with you, ladies, because if you go onto our Instagram stories right now, you'll still see it. But I jumped on a quick live just to talk about goal setting. I miserably choked on myself. And I couldn't stop coughing. And then furthermore, I couldn't even talk. After coughing, I actually couldn't talk. Just to say,
bless you.
I gotta go because I can't talk anymore.
I'm actually choking live.
Literally, I was like coughing and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't breathe. I can't talk. So, hey, it happens.
It happens, indeed. And listen, the worst case, you can always just delete and do it again anyway. Nobody cares. Nobody actually cares. Everybody sat there laughing. Exactly. Because again, it's just real, isn't it?
Okay, have a laugh at my pain. I'm all right with that.
Exactly. Don't take yourself too seriously.
No, and that's the thing, if you can show your imperfections and be okay with that sometimes, it's okay because that's where people relate. And
Most
if you
definitely.
have things that happen and didn't quite work out, sometimes it's okay to share that. So Ellie says, I stopped waiting for change to happen and created my own blog. The response has been tremendous. People love it and it makes me so happy. Amazing. Well done, Ellie. And Rachel, I find social media the most difficult. I have no idea how to start. As this year, I'm going to do just that. Just do it. And at least I will learn something, good or bad. Of course, that is.
Definitely. And you'll learn what works for you. And there is no cookie cutter approach anyway. There is no right or wrong necessarily. Obviously, there's some right strategies and some wrong ways of doing things, but also it's what works for you. And there's loads of modules on social media in the membership.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll definitely give you a starting point.
Yeah, there is the whole social media mastery training, and there's a lot of content around social media. So you got a lot of support in the members club. So that's your January goal. Fantastic. And exactly, we've got Meet Social Media Expert right here as well. So what a better place than next year. Okay, so what were the limiting beliefs present in holding you back in achieving your highest potential? Now, limiting beliefs, Katie, I know it's a big subject.
It sure is. Yeah, so limiting beliefs are that thing that's in your brain stopping you from taking those steps forward, that are holding you back, things you think that you're not good enough to do this, you're not enough for this, all that kind of negative self-talk. And it is just needs to get rid. It serves no purpose whatsoever. We all have limiting beliefs, and I don't think anyone is ever without limiting beliefs ever, but we can work, to get rid of them. And things like I said earlier about reminding yourself of all the positive, and trying to rewire your brain a little bit with all the positive things rather than the negative that we tend to cling on to. I had a client yesterday that I was speaking to, and she had all this real positive feedback. And once someone had made it, it wasn't even hugely negative, but she was just hanging on to this kind of slightly negative comment. And I was like, what about all the other hundreds of positive? Because we're just kind of wired to think, well, maybe they're not good enough. Maybe they're not professional enough. Maybe people don't like them. This was a product that she had invented. And actually, instead of thinking about all the good, she just focused on the bad. So having these kind of positive things to go back to helps us rewire the brain to get rid of the limiting beliefs. And it's even just repeating to yourself these things, whether it's affirmations or mantras, which I know are further down in the workbook as well, but whether it's just repeating these sort of things to try and rewire the brain that actually you are enough. And a lot of it comes back to being enough, one way or another. Whether you don't think you're knowledgeable enough, whether you don't think you're good enough, whether you don't think people like you enough, whether you don't think your skills are high enough, whether you don't think you can charge enough, all these sorts of things that kind of hold you back are just evil. So yeah, you just need to concentrate and try and get rid of them. And by writing them down and being, I think, aware of them, you can help then get past them. But without being aware of them, sometimes these blocks come up in your head, you don't quite know what it is. Lots of people have visibility kind of limiting beliefs. I don't want to be visible. Well, why? Why is it you don't want to be visible? Actually, I don't think I'm good enough. Or again, a lot of it does come back to this I'm not good enough kind of limiting belief, I think, when you actually go down and down and down. But by being aware of what those limiting beliefs are, it's a really good starting point to get past them, and to rewire your brain to kind of start thinking, well, actually, that's not a truth, and start questioning the things that pop up in your brain. Like when you think, why? Who said that? Is that actually true? Actually, what have my clients actually said to me? Well, they've said all really nice things. So where on earth have I got this in my head that I'm not good enough? And sometimes you can just start to rationalize when you actually allow yourself to fight back with the little niggles that are in your head. So yeah, I always like to try and write them down and then argue with my own kind of written down limiting beliefs against them, come up with facts to show my brain, well, actually, that is absolutely rubbish. And this is why it's rubbish, because these are the facts. And so that's what works for me. But there's lots of different things that can work. But that's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, definitely. And also we have money, especially around money. There's a lot of times that women struggle with, charging our worth and grossly undercharge for products and just saying, oh, I'm just starting there, so I'm just starting out. And usually it's the money stories that we're telling ourselves. So if you have the time, do pop into the members area and check out Money Mindset. The whole theme around money mindset is so powerful, because that will help you really up level your just your mindset when it comes to money, and you can move so much further. And trust me, people with half of your talent, which I know you've probably seen this quote around, people with half of your talent, half of your skills, charging twice the money that you're charging. So don't ever feel like you're not good enough, because you are. And it's just the mindset blocks that's
without doubt.
Right, but other people believe in you, and that's the difference. Other people probably believe in you and cheering you on. So like Katie said, write down your wins, all the good things that people said about you, and look at it every day and keep affirming yourself that you are enough and you can charge whatever it is that you want. So question 7, what surprised you about your achievements this year so far? So if you have any surprises that came forward for you this year from anything that you have achieved, let us know, because usually in the surprises that, again, we learn the lesson in, what really surprised you that happened. There are many things that surprised me about this year. Like one of those things is we hosted an event for women in business in June, and usually around events I'd be a little bit more stressed out and there'll be many things happening, and and as just so much going on, and you're always wondering, how is it going to turn out? How is it going to turn out? But this year, I trusted the universe. I put all of my trust in the universe, and it was absolutely, even 2 weeks before the event, when a lot of things were not done yet, I just said, I'm not stressing about this. And what really surprised me, that I've taken this approach of trusting the universe that everything will happen the way it should, and everything did. People around me were stressing more than me, and they said, "Oh my goodness, is that happening?" I'm like, "Just relax. It's okay. We got this." And then on the day, everything happened as it was planned. Everything fell into place. And sometimes you have to realize that you have to trust the universe, because whatever you put out, if you created a plan and you started the motion to make something happen, the universe will actually help you make it happen. It is powerful. This stuff is really, really powerful. And in the next session with LOA twins, and if you came to our last event in London, you may have met LOA twins and also Angela. So both LOA twins and Angela will be delivering sessions for us this month about manifestation and vision board, and just how to work with this energy to actually manifest things and trust the universe and use the energy around us to make these goals that we're setting on now, how to help and make it happen.
Yep.
With the power of the energy. So
definitely. And I can vouch for you being much calmer this time as well. I think throughout you were just like, everything's happening, it's fine, it's all in hand.
Yeah,
definitely.
And enjoy the moment. A lot of the times events can be very, very stressful, but this time around, I actually managed to really enjoy it, because I trusted everything that, of course, you have to work hard to put it all together. And there's no doubt that goals aren't going to just magically happen and appear. But if you've done the work and you, let's say, empowered your team around you, then you have to kind of be able to step back and let things unfold.
Yeah, definitely.
There is, again, something we're going to be talking about with Angela, about the feminine and masculine energy, and how with feminine energy, you're able to make the whole process much smoother. And if you use too much of your masculine energy and you just push, that's when we exhaust ourselves and our energy, right? So by using more of our feminine energy, being aligned with our goals and our plans, everything just goes smoothly, right? So it's really powerful.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really if you didn't hear Angela at the last event, then it's a really powerful realization, I think. So she's fantastic. So make sure you register for the next is she the end of December, Angela?
Yes, she's on our last one. She's in Australia, so we are doing, it's really funny how we had to set it up. I set it up for Friday night here in the UK and Saturday morning in Australia. So yeah, we kind of making it work.
Excellent.
So make sure you complete question 8 and 9. And I want to go on to planning, because I realized that we only have half hour left. So make sure you answer question 8. How did you notice any shift in your energy when you achieved your goals? And how people responded to you? And how did that make you feel? Really dig deep into, how it made you feel. Because again, it comes back to your energy of how does your goals and achieving your goals make you feel? Because you can use the same energy in 2020 to go even further, push things even further than you have ever before. So let's go to worksheet 2 and let's start planning. I'm sure all of you are really excited about setting your goals right now. So if your goal doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. So what I want you to do right now in a chat box is write your big, scary goal, at least one. So share one of your goals that you want to see happen in 2020. Whatever it is, it could be financial, it could be, I want to be speaking at events, I want to travel the world, whatever it is, put one big, hairy goal on in the chat box right now.
Bigger the better.
Bigger the better. Yeah. Do you have a big goal for 2020, Katie?
I think I've got a few. I want to up my game in passive income. So I want to reach £10,000 consistent income months plus 5k on top for passive, purely passive. I want to travel as much as possible. And I did a fair bit of traveling in 2019. So I want to continue with that. And I want to buy a motorhome to travel Europe.
Amazing.
And probably outsource more as well. So they're kind of the aims for 2020.
I love that. I love it. And for me, it would be, I'd love to publish my book.
Oh, yes.
I've been writing my book, and yeah, I really want to get it out there. I know it's a big job, and I have to have this big hairy goal that I want to publish my book. And another big goal for us, for women in business, is to, of course, go to the States and host our events internationally.
Amazing.
Because so many women are, wanting and waiting for our events to happen in the States, in Canada, rest of Europe. So hopefully in 2020, we will have our events heading to the States.
Fantastic.
So Angela says, I'd love to create a course and write a novel. Amazing, Angela. Very exciting. What would be your course? Tell me the subject that your course is going to be about.
And the best tip I can give you with that as well is to start the launch of it. Start getting people interested in the course. Make sure it's what they want from a course. You don't have to write the course fully before actually getting people on board. If you spent January getting people signed up to that course, start in February, you can then start to write a module a week. You can drip feed it. I think one of the biggest mistakes, people think they spend 6 months, a year even, putting a course together, and you don't actually need to have it completely finished and finalized. Yes, you have to have a skeleton worked out, but you don't need to have everything singing, dancing, ready to go before actually getting people signed up. So keep that in mind as well. Don't let it kind of hold you back.
That is a really good advice. And Katie maps out launches and helps map out launches, so she knows just what she's talking about. So start early, Angela, and start talking about it, because you can now start to gather interest for what you're doing.
Oh, creating a course of balance, business, time management, etc. Fantastic. And again, much needed, because I think most of us will admit, it's an area we often struggle with, time management, and stop procrastinating, and creating that balanced business, which is difficult. It's quite elusive to a lot of people, that whole balance. So yeah, I really like that idea.
You can totally start talking about the subject. You can start writing, and Ellie as well, and Angela, I'd encourage you to submit a blog post to Women in Business community, because you can get your blogs published with on our blogs, and again, direct traffic back to your website whether it's launched or not yet.
And it helps position yourself as the expert and the go-to in that field. So when you do launch a course, you're the obvious choice, because that's what you've positioned yourself as the expert in. That's your area. So yeah, definitely start making sure your content relates back to that topic. Yeah. Ooh, we've got some good ones here. Priscilla wants to open at least 3 more branches in the UK. Amazing.
Very exciting, Priscilla. I think it's going to be a big year for you in 2020.
Huge. Love it.
So Ellie says, I've been asked to host an event in January at a local business center. I haven't prepared it, and people are signing up. I'm putting it to the back of my mind.
Very exciting. How amazing is that? So a marketing event, I presume. Fantastic. You've got people signing up already. Yeah. All the information's up here, so like you said, put it to the back of your mind and don't stress about it. But when if you need to put something together, spend a couple of days and you'll have it, because it's all up here. So yeah.
And Elio, I just want to remind you that we have public speaking and events theme within the Women in Business Club. So you can go and have a look at training by Trisha Brooke. She's an incredible lady. So anytime you can go into the members dashboard and check out, and hopefully that will help you kind of nail your public speaking, because I know events can be a little bit scary sometimes. Yep, I'm I can't say the word. Can you pronounce it?
Compartmentalizing. Compartmentalize. It's a bit of a long word, to be honest, to get out at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday evening of a very busy week. But yes, you're boxing it all in, you're separating it all. I get it. But yes, can you speak an easier language for us?
No, I like that word actually, because I know what you mean, because I work that way. You know, I can't say it. I have my little compartment in my mind.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing this work. Like, let's say women in business work is separate to my own personal brand work. So, you know, I do those, I dedicate that time, or let's say writing blog posts or scheduling social media. I actually do separate these tasks and focus solely on that.
Yeah.
And, you know, by doing that, it'll take you half the time. But the key is don't stress over it and dedicate the time to actually just.
Yeah, definitely. I know you didn't make it up. It's a bona fide word. We've just both had a busy week, I think. We can't get our words out. But no, you didn't make it up.
You're telling. Go on.
I was going to say, and your 41 is not old school at all. I'm sure you're not rusty. I'm sure you're not rusty at all. But yeah, have a practice as well. I used to practice when I spoke at one of Ray's events last year, and I wasn't ready for it at all. So I used to practice at home, recording myself and then cringing whilst watching it back. But it helps you get clear on what you're saying, obviously, you know, if there's certain topics, and, you know, if you need to have cards or slides or whatever it is, don't be afraid to kind of use anything that helps you, because I think a lot of people try and do it all kind of completely from memory, and you don't have to. You know, no one cares if you have cards or slides or whatever it is that help you along the way. So yeah, definitely take all the resources that you need to help you along the way. And like you said, it's all up here, so you'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah. Now, ladies, I want to talk to you a little bit more about how do people perceive you, and just how important that is moving forward. Because as business owners, and of course we wear many hats. You know, you, Katie, a mom, a wife, a fiance, and, you know, a sister, an auntie, and all of those sort of hats that we wear at home.
Yeah.
But we're also a business owner. We are also, whether entrepreneur or business owner. And on top of that, I want to ask you, ladies, how do you want people to actually perceive you in 2020? And a lot of your success and you know, visibility, I guess, online comes down to people's perception. So if there are some things that you'd like to change in 2020 and how people perceive you, you got to start to pinpoint, how do you want people to actually perceive you in 2020? You know, do you want to take more leadership role or thought leadership in particular area and develop that, you know, like Ellie is doing with social media, Angela is doing with time management? You know, how do you want people actually perceive you, and start taking steps towards achieving that outcome? All right, because again, nothing happens by chance. Everything happens by planning and consciously deciding that that's where I'm headed. So I want to ask you, ladies, how do you want people to perceive you as in 2020? And so when people, there are goals and also my desires for success. So your why. I think your why is really, really powerful, of why you are doing this. Again,
definitely.
When it comes to goal setting, you know, we can set huge goals, but does it mean we're going to be motivated to actually go for these goals? So you got to have a why, you know, you got to have a purpose. And, you know, Katie, what's your experience of having a big why?
I think just keep on digging as well. You know, I think a lot of mums will naturally kind of go, well, it's for my children. Why? why, dig again. It's not for you. Why, what is it for your children you want? Mine are not necessarily my children. Mine are myself and my whole family. It's very much about the freedom. That's why I'm self-employed, but I've been self-employed in many different roles and I haven't had the freedom. So I have a lot more freedom, and that's something that's very, very important to me in a service-based role, that I have that freedom as well. I'm really always getting stricter on my boundaries, not working too many evenings or weekends. So I have that time with my family. It's very, very important. I create lots of memories with my family, have the freedom to do what we want when we want, to have the financial freedom, not just financial freedom, but obviously that definitely helps, to be able to travel when we want, to have the experiences we want, to be able to make my own decisions. And for me, that's it. It does go very much back to kind of freedom on all different levels, not just for me, but for my children, and also for them to see that you don't have to conform to the kind of ideas that society have set, that you don't have to kind of go through school in a very traditional way, go to university, get your job, work at your career, get married, have children, all in a very kind of linear fashion. That there are so many opportunities open and available to us, especially, even more so to my children's generation, that you can work from anywhere in the world. You can start a business doing something you're passionate about. You don't have to go to work and absolutely hate your Monday to Friday. You can do something that you actually love and make money from. So that's a real driver for me as well.
Yeah, for me as well. I mean, freedom was one of the reasons why I started in business. And another area for me would be, I want to empower other women.
Yeah.
I want to support, empower. And what gets me really going is starting start with a niggle of an idea.
Yeah.
And that whole process of developing, creating, and launching an idea. I mean, for me, that's the most satisfying thing when someone launches a business or an idea. I love that. And for me, that's more why I want to see more women actually empowering themselves by launching and starting a business.
Yeah.
That's
doing it. Yeah. Right? From that seed being planted.
Yeah.
It is. And it's an amazing feeling being involved in that journey and actually being part of that journey. You really feel like you have, an investment in their business because you're a huge part of that business growth. And that is exciting, whether it's for ourselves that we're doing it or someone else's journey. It's a really empowering feeling, like you said.
Yeah. Priscilla, I would like to be seen as mom who is not only running a business, but also helping other women start a business. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely relate to that. What Angela said, I suppose I want to be seen as someone who wants to help and approachable. I love the approachable thing as well. And I find that I certainly find people who are approachable obviously resonate with me, as opposed to unapproachable, which sounds really silly, but a lot of people that you see online, for me, come across, quite unapproachable and a million miles away. And that just doesn't work for me. So I completely understand that. And Angela is saying you got burnout, so I want to help others prevent it, plus work from home and enjoy my job. And again, that's huge, isn't it? I think we've probably all been at the side where we've suffered with burnout and we're trying to do absolutely everything, trying to keep all those balls in the air. That, and there's an opportunity to look at outsourcing and seeing what we can do there as well. So to help others work on that is really, really important. And to work from home is huge, and enjoy your job. So many people just don't enjoy their job, and I can't remember that feeling almost, because for me it was so long ago, and I forget sometimes how lucky I am to actually love what I do. It's important.
Yeah. Oh, Ellie says I live in France.
Beautiful.
Yeah, of course. I mean, again, if I had to commute every single day into London, I would not survive a job.
No, I wouldn't.
Commute sucks.
No. So what are we on? Are we going to worksheet 3, transformation?
Yes, let's go into transformation.
Like this. So first question in transformation is, what is stopping me from achieving the success I desire? So what is it that's holding you back? If you've got these big goals and you haven't necessarily achieved them in 2019, what is it? Does it come down to you, your mindset, taking action? Have you got any idea what it is that's stopping you from going forward as it stands?
Yeah.
And I think you said, it was Ellie that said earlier, wasn't it, that you just decided, where's it gone? I stopped waiting for change to happen.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know, that was, you took that decision, that action, and you kind of went, I'm not waiting, I'm just going to do it myself.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And sometimes as well, it is about having those goals. It is about, sometimes we don't know what action to take and which direction to go because we actually haven't sat down and done this reflection work and haven't set our goals for, 2020. When you haven't got goals and big enough goals and goals that has purpose, then we don't know how to move forward. So if you feel like you don't know which direction you need to go, that is probably that sign that says to you, you need to set some goals and clarity, set timely goals, put a measure on it, right? Make them measurable. If you were to achieve this goal in 2020, how can you measure that you actually have achieved it, right? If it's, like for Katie, I want to build £10,000 every single month as my passive income, right? You can measure. At the end of 2020, you'll know whether you achieved that goal. Or, you want to go on more holidays. Okay, I want to go on holiday every single month, right? That's 12 holidays in 2020. Have you achieved it at the end of it? You can quantify it.
Yeah.
And once you can quantify what that goal is and measure it, and set a time scale as well. I said, I want to launch a book, right? But I need to have a goal. What kind of book, right?
Yep.
When do I want to launch it? It's not good enough just to say I want to launch a book and just leave it open-ended. I want to do it next year, right? And I need to set a time or date to say it's going to happen by then. Now, I always said it's going to be March. Now, is it feasible in that time? Is it actually achievable for me to do that in that time scale? I don't know. We'll see.
Break it down. Make yourself smaller goals. So a chapter a month or whatever it is. So you can, again, you can measure with more specific in kind of smaller chunks, and then you're not falling too far behind, because I think sometimes if by the end of February you haven't started it, then you're like, oh, that's going out the window, I'm not going to achieve by March. Whereas if you break it down sometimes into smaller steps, they're easier to achieve, and if you missed one of those smaller goals, it's not so hard to catch up. Maybe for your book it would be a case of just scheduling it in and doing a chapter a month or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, now I have to kind of go backwards and say, okay, if I want to finish writing by March, then what do I need to do? So how many words a day or a week I need to make sure I complete? And what is that process, right? So let's say Priscilla wanted to open 3 new branches. Okay, so work backwards. Are there, things that need to happen that in order for that to happen? Do you need more people on board? Do you need to have have a physical branch or some kind of paperwork to go with that, and that might delay the process. So you kind of have to go backwards and, like you say, Katie, break down the process of, okay, this is the big hairy goal. Let's set a time scale. Let's set an outcome. What is the success for this goal? What does it look like? And what do I actually need to do? So when you start to break it down, then you'll be able to look into tactics and actions that you need to take. And once you get really clear and you have big enough purpose for you to achieve it, you'll be motivated. Every morning you wake up and like, oh my God, that goal? Like, okay, what can we do? What can we do to make it happen? You're going to be excited. I promise you.
Yeah, and it's a really good point as well about making sure they kind of align, because if you've got, for example, a financial goal of, let's just say, £5,000 a month, how are you going to make that happen? Because a lot of us will say, well, I only want to work, say, for example, I don't know, 20 hours a week. I want to make this £5,000 a month. My package is this much. Actually, it's not feasible, because you'd have to work far more than those 20 hours at the price you're actually charging now to hit that goal. So they don't even align. So you need to make sure and map it out exactly how you're going to make that £5,000. If you're charging £1,000 for a package, you need 5 clients. How feasible is that? Do you need to charge more? Do you need to work more hours? How do you get it all to actually align? So that's a really important kind of tool as well, just to kind of sit down and actually work out how you make that kind of a reality. And you need to be really, really clear on that. I once said I wanted to hit 5,000 and it was with a specific amount of clients and I wasn't actually charging enough to even make that goal. So it was kind of like null and void. How can you try and aim to hit that goal when it doesn't even add up? So yeah, simple, but actually a lot of the time we don't take the time to do that very simple exercise. So
yeah, break it down.
Definitely.
So what needs to happen in order for your goal to take place? So make sure you break it down and you look at things that actually needs to happen. Do you need to have a business plan? Do you need more investment? Do you need more money? Do you need to hire a coach? Do you need to build a website? Break it all down and make sure you set yourself those goals so you can actually have a successful year. And when we're back here next year doing a goal setting workshop and we are celebrating your wins, you can say, Ray and Katie, I have done it.
You did it.
That big goal, put it on my vision board, manifested it, worked my ass off, and it made it happen, right? So that's what you want to do.
What are we looking at? What is your mantra or affirmation for the new year ahead? That's a nice one. So who's got a lovely mantra or affirmation that they want to share with us? I love collecting new affirmations and new mantras. I always come back to a favorite affirmation, really, I guess, which is I completely believe in my ability to succeed. And that is my success. It's what success means to me. And I just believe in myself enough to know that I will make that happen. And that's one that I've just stuck with for a long time, that I always go back to. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Have you got a favorite?
I tend to change things, but I have few things. I actually have a few things on my vision board. I can tell you what I have on there. One of them is unworthy. And looking at that and just saying to yourself, I am enough and I'm worthy of this. Another one that makes me smile every single day is I'm realistic. I just expect miracles.
I like that one.
So those a few, and I always have gratitude because again, when you practice gratitude, I found this really, really powerful. When you express your gratitude, you write it down and you practice it daily, I find that it really lifts your mood, it puts you in a better energy, and it starts to attract the things that you're grateful for. So it starts to attract even more. So I love doing some gratitude, and I have a gratitude journal where I write in it, maybe if not every day, at least every week, reflecting back on things that I'm super grateful for.
Yeah, and it does make a difference. It makes you realize how much you have to be grateful for. When you start, every now and again, I'll do the exercise of kind of writing 100 things. And when you start, you're like, oh, I don't know, and then, you start to get to 50 and all of a sudden you just start flowing because you're just thinking of absolutely every little thing that we take for granted in life. And you're completely right. The more we show gratitude, the more comes our way.
Yeah.
Angela's got a new one. New affirmation is I am confident and living my life with passion and purpose. Love that.
Yeah.
Confident and living my life with passion and purpose. Really like that.
And that's the secret to writing good affirmation is, or even goal that I'm not saying I am going to, but saying I am doing this, or I am confident or wealthy, or it's really, really powerful when you affirm everything that way.
Definitely. Hi, Susan. Yeah, it sure is, Susan. I am all the way. Yeah, it's not an affirmation if it's I'm going to or half there. You need to believe it's kind of a done deal, so that I am enough. Really simple one, but again, really powerful because you're enough for anything you set your mind to.
Yeah. And when you write down these affirmations, write them down somewhere you can see it. Stick it on your fridge, put it on your vision board, stick something on your desk. or on your screensaver, something that you can see
Yeah.
quite often, and keep affirming to yourself, because that is really, really powerful.
Oh, I have daily little schedule reminders come up in my phone like 3 times a day.
Hmm?
So at 9 o'clock, I have I am powerful. At 1 p.m., I have I am enough. I forget even what I've got, but I have 3 a day that just pop up as a little notification on my phone. So it just constantly kind of reaffirming and rewiring my brain of these positive statements about myself.
That is powerful. I'm going to try that.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I've done that for a long time, and I do like it. It just makes me giggle. And even if I've got financial goals, I'll put that in. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, I know I have something pop up that I've reached my goal. I have had whatever it is, whatever the goal is, month, and it just makes me smile every single day.
Yeah,
Even when
amazing.
you're dashing back from the school run, you're like, yeah, I've done it, and try and evoke that energy and those feelings that you would feel if you actually had done that. And then when you have started reaching those, up it and go for the next goal.
Yeah, because what I find that, especially still since being an entrepreneur and running my own business, that my capacity has increased so much. I mean, it has increased for productivity and how much work I can deliver in one day, and how quickly I can turn around like an idea and turn it into becoming reality.
Mm-hmm.
And my capacity to take risks and tolerate things that before, I was like, oh my God, this feels really scary. And as you start to achieve goals and start to, get through those things that you never thought was possible, your capacity increases and it increases. And honestly, you haven't got a capacity, because you can just keep growing. And once you have conquered one thing, you're going to want to conquer another one. And
Definitely.
those things aren't going to be scary anymore, like doing lives or doing webinars, right? 2 years ago, I couldn't even think about doing a webinar. It was the scariest thing ever, right? I could have paid somebody so much money to do a webinar for me, but I couldn't do it myself. And now I can just hop on a webinar and it's okay. I'm not scared at all. So your capacity increases. So if there is one thing that your soul desires, what would it be? And think about something big and something that you don't think you can achieve right now. So to wrap up today's session, I want to hear from each and every one of you. What is that one thing that your soul desires? So get sharing. I want to
Yep,
find out.
definitely. Let us know in the comments.
And then to complete this worksheet, which is this transformation worksheet, once you have set yourself that big goal that you don't think you can achieve, and like I said, your capacity will increase. And the bigger you dream, the more you'll be able to achieve. Just think about, how does it actually really make you feel? Is it scary? Does it excite you? Does it make you want to run for the woods, or makes you want to run for the mountains and actually go and achieve this? That is really, really powerful.
Definitely.
Susan says, unlimited happiness.
I like that. That's amazing. And that's
Think you
the
already
big goal
have
for everyone, right?
I know. Susan already has it. I mean, every time I speak to Susan, she's just happy. She is
Yes.
incredible.
Very contagiously happy as well, which is an amazing trait, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, important, I think, to concentrate on how things make you feel and the emotive side of it. Not that we want to wait to hit things to feel a certain way. We want to always be happy. What I mean by that is that you don't want to rely on anything to make you feel happy, obviously, but imagine how increased your energy will feel, and how proud of yourself you'll feel when you've achieved even more. So yeah, it's really important to think about how you'll feel, how you'll portray yourself, just how proud you'll feel of yourself. And that's another good exercise as well, is to write down as much as possible, in as much detail as possible, how that will make you feel, how you'll carry yourself, because you'll be like so chuffed of yourself walking around, the little skip in your tail, and just get really, really in depth about how you'll feel. And like I said, a little reminder pops up that I've hit a financial goal. I'm like, yay. And I celebrate that, and I get happy every time I see it, regardless of whether I've hit it or not. So it's giving back to the universe and showing how you will feel and how happy that does make you feel to have hit those goals and to receive these things that we want.
Yeah. So last but not least, to wrap up today's session, I want to ask you, who are the 3 key people that will be part of this journey for you? So sometimes, we should actually surround ourselves with people who inspire us and motivate us, and who will push you to do better, who will push you to get, to achieve these goals. So think about, who are the 3 key people in your life that you want around. You want to spend as much time with them, you want to learn from them. And it doesn't necessarily have to be necessarily your partner or your husband. It might be your mentor, it might be a coach that you're looking forward to, or it can be a person who you may not even have direct contact with, right? But you feel inspired and motivated, and you observing very closely. So, it can be anyone. So
Definitely. Yeah, who makes you feel good, who lifts you, who motivates you, like Ray said, somebody you collaborate with. Sometimes it's, it's a business buddy. Sometimes it's nobody in business. A lot of the time it is somebody that understands that world, but sometimes it can just be somebody that isn't involved, but is still your biggest cheerleader, and makes you feel that, yeah, you can do these things, and that lifts you every time you speak to them. So really important to surround yourself with these people. Definitely.
And of course, Women in Business Community is here to support you. If you need help or if you need support, you can reach out to us, myself or Katie, or also reach out within the Facebook group. If there is something that you need help with, or you've got a question, or you just need a business buddy, you can just say, hey, ladies, I need a business buddy. I need someone to bounce ideas with.
Yeah.
You can reach out, and I am 100% certain that you'll find other like-minded women who actually want to be in touch with you more regularly, and maybe be your accountability partner, and be that person, one of those 3 key people in your life who, maybe not even 3, maybe one of the 10 people who will be your accountability partner in 2020.
Definitely.
All right, ladies, if you have any questions, let us know. And of course, if any of you are joining us late or watching this on replay, I'm just going to repost the workbook, link to the workbook. I know this session was available to some ladies who may not be part of the Women in Business Club yet. So if you want to find out about the Women in Business Club and how to become a member, and also take advantage of all the resources, all the training, workbooks, do make sure you check us out on our website, womeninbusiness.club, and I'm just posting a link now. Members can also submit, or you can actually submit a blog post. So any of you ladies who have been thinking about doing more blogging and want to get featured on our website, you can do that through our blog section. So have a good browse around on our website and check it out. So the next 2 sessions are available to register now. So you'll get access code through the members area. So make sure you log into your members area and grab the links and discount codes to access the upcoming workshops coming up for the rest of the month. Any last key takeaways, Katie?
Take the time, I think, to actually set the goals and to reflect. We've done the workbook together, so we've kind of gone through the different sections, but go away and actually take that time and schedule that time in for yourself. Look at it as a form of something for you to do, and actually take the action. Write down, what you've taken. I think the key takeaways of what you're going to take into 2020 and what you're going to kind of leave in 2019.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Lals, I hope you enjoyed today's session. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Susan says, thank you, ladies. As always, you have wonderful information, motivation. I missed the beginning, but download the workbook, and I'm so looking forward to 2020.
Excellent. Thank you all for joining us.
You're welcome, Angela. And yeah, you have the workbook, and you can just come back or just wait for us to finish and watch it from the start again, Susan, if you need to. You're most welcome.
Excellent. See you all again soon.
All right, loves. Have a good rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Take care.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. See you soon. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.